In a world full of turbocharged motors, hybridized cars, and of course electric cars, does a 5.2 litre V10 still have its place in a supercar? That's a question I want to try and answer today. Right, let's talk numbers. This is the performance model. As I said, it's a 5.2 litre V10. That sits just behind us right here. Produces 614 brake horsepower at around 6,500 RPM. 0 to 62, that's 3.2 seconds. Top speed, 205 mile an hour. Those who argue the R8 is not a supercar are bonkers, especially when you couple that with some wet weather like we have today. Of course, we've got the fabulous Quattro. I think on the topic of numbers, let's have a little prod on the throttle. And we rev all the way up to 8,800 RPM. And you feel like you're extracting all of that performance when you climb to that red line. It's intoxicating. It's addictive. It's like a drug. That V10, it makes you want to push the throttle again and again and again and eke out that tiny little extra bit of performance at the end of the throttle travel, starting at roughly 163,000 pounds. It's not cheap. This Spyder comes with a roughly £9,000 premium over the hardtop variant. I'm sorry, I should have continued talking then, but I had to stop. The noise, I mean, it's easily up there as one of the best engines on sale today. All I want to do is just keep pushing the throttle to the point where you're traveling at such bonkers speed, you'll be arrested in no time because the police can hear you from 2 miles away because it's deafening. So let's talk about everyday supercar and what that actually means. When we refer to the everyday supercar, what we're referring to is a car that's very easy to jump in and drive. It's accessible. I argue that anyone with any driving experience can hop into this car and drive it quickly but safely. And I think that's crucial. It's comfy, it's practical, there's plenty of space in here. We've got nice creature comforts. This car was optioned with the comfort and sound pack, and as a result, we've dropped these bucket seats. We've got these regular sports seats now. They're good, but they don't keep you quite snug enough. And as part of that comfort and sound pack, we also get Bang & Olufsen speakers. That sound system is fabulous. On the topic of practicality, we've got that front trunk space. It's reasonable, it's okay. You can fit 2 weekend bags in there, but I wouldn't want to do a weekly shop or anything like that and leave half your shop in there and do a quick trip home and come back. I mean, it wouldn't take you long, but still. There's some nice design touches here with some pieces of aluminium, brushed aluminium about, and it makes it feel like a nice place to be. This is up there as one of the nicest places to sit in any supercar. At just over 2 meters wide, it's not the narrowest of cars. Visibility is good, actually. You can see pretty much everywhere. I've got the seat quite low, but I can see the bonnet, and I have a general good feeling of where the car is. So negotiating traffic through town and tight side streets and whatnot isn't as bad as it is in some other supercars. The other big question surrounding the R8 is its chassis. Now, it's built on the same space frame as the Huracan gets, but there are subtle differences in the calibration of its computer modules, and the steering is one of those. The steering it's okay. It's a bit flat, it's a bit unresponsive. There's not much feedback through the wheel, and as a result, on some roads it's a little bit nervous. It's a little bit, you're not really quite sure what that front end is doing. Contrast that with the Porsche, which has a razor sharp turn in but offers that little bit more feedback. I feel I can turn in quicker, and I feel more confidence in doing so in the 911, despite ultimately having more grip here because of the Quattro system. There is so much grip on offer, I can't begin to explain, but it just doesn't feel as razor sharp. With this being the performance model, we also get carbon ceramic brakes. Now, I've said time and time again that I don't think carbon ceramic brakes should be on a road car. And here in this R8 Spyder, I feel it's more prevalent than ever. Initial bite is so grabby that you end up lurching forward on something where you're only trying to bring yourself down. It feels far too grabby, but my word, they are strong. Performance-wise, they're up to the job and some. And I feel on a track day, they would be a necessity, especially because this is a four-wheel drive car, obviously, and we've got a whopping great V10 engine. It's a heavy old girl. You know, we're talking 1,700 kilos, and when we're comparing to something like the McLaren 570S, that's a car that weighs around 1,400 kilos. That's a significant weight difference when it comes to not only the performance, the handling, but also braking performance and things like that. And also economy, which brings me back round to that practicality question of whether a V10 engine is relevant in today's world. Because at the moment, for today, we're averaging 14 miles per gallon. The likes of the Porsche 911 was able to grab 38 miles per gallon on a long journey. Now, if we're talking everyday practicality, it doesn't matter how deep your pockets are, that's a big difference. But the drama of the V10 engine is just something a turbocharged engine, it just can't replicate that noise. And I could be doing 2 miles per gallon at this point, I really could not care, because the noise is sublime. I've got goosebumps on my arms right now. You can just hold it above 6,000, keep yourself in the power band. Gear changes are razor sharp. You keep in that power band of 2,000 RPM, right at that limit at the top with the valves open, and the down changes. We'll do one more. In some ways, this car isn't as everyday as something like a 911, but with a V10 engine, it just doesn't matter.